And that's a great way for me to give back to my recovery community. And I served on the capital campaign committee, which helped in raising the money to double the size of the facility. And we're all very proud of that, because as a city grows, the population grows, and the percentage of population who need help grows, and we're growing with that.
Yeah.
So
Healing Transitions is an amazing place. We have many of our staff have gone through Healing Transitions, and Thomas, who's on our leadership team, who worked there for 10 or 12 years. It's an amazing place. We just had Chris Budnick in here a couple weeks ago.
Oh, great.
We're huge fans.
Me too. And Chris has taught me a lot, and just someone I consider a friend, and just someone I learn from. And so you had him in here on the podcast.
Yeah,
That's
that
great.
right there.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. So now that it's a little bit more normalized in the culinary industry, how often are you seeing somebody who, have you seen a lot of people come to you for help, whether they work directly for you or just colleagues or people in other cities even?
Yeah. People reach out, and I love that they do. Though I have friends all over the country who have reached out, and I became friends with them by them just saying, hey, I think I have a problem, and I want to get some help, and I have fears about it, and I have questions about it. Would you mind talking with me? And not only do I not mind, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I wish someone, when I got sober, people did. There were people in those rooms who said, you keep coming back here and we'll teach you how we do this. And I remember thinking, I want what that guy has. He has peace. He has wisdom. I want that.
Yeah.
I'm over here. I'm a mess. I want what that guy has. So I believed him, and I came back and I learned from him. And I want people to know that we can do that within our industry, because there are very specific challenges to being in the industry. And I'm willing to talk through those with anyone.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm an expert, and what worked for me may not work for everyone, but I'm certainly always willing and able to share the things that worked for me and what I learned, and different resources that are out there now that didn't used to exist. And it's great. Our industry is changing in a very positive way, in so many positive ways. It's becoming safer, more professional, far more gratifying. We're having less burnout because we're recognizing how to avoid these things. We're kind of obsessive people, food and beverage people, chefs. And so we'll burn ourselves out before we even realize it, because we're obsessed with our work at times. Now we're getting better at watching out for each other, watching for those signs, so that we can let each other know when there may be an issue, so in case we don't recognize it ourselves. And because we don't serve alcohol to our staff, so we don't consume alcohol as our team members don't consume alcohol. If they taste wine, they spit it. And we certainly study spirits and wine, but we don't consume alcohol the way the old school restaurant would, where after we close, everyone gets a beer and we close down and have a few drinks and then go down the street and get hammered. That's not what we encourage. What we encourage is rest and hydration and be fresh when you come in, and enjoy your hobbies on your day off. And if you want to have some adult beverages, fine. But we're not going to reward you for hard work with adult beverages. We'll do family meal and how about a pay increase or something, instead of giving out, shift
Sounds
beers.
like a total paradigm shift to me.
If you were in the restaurant industry for any period of time,
I was.
you
I definitely.
remember.
In my early 20s, oh man, and it lends itself, especially restaurants that aren't open for lunch and it's all night. Were y'all ever open
the
for
Wild West? We're
Any
not
of your
open for lunch
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. No.
So you're definitely a night
Yeah.
crawler kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
So what happens then is we attract people who want that environment. They want a professional environment to do their best work, to be the best that they can, to make good money, and to have an environment that feels safe. Because the bad behavior in restaurants, about 80 to 90% of bad behavior within the uh, staff of a restaurant comes usually from drinking
Right.
on the job
Right.
or after work,
Right.
or if you eliminate that, you eliminate a lot of the bad behavior.
Right. I don't see a lot of it happening when people are about to open, sitting there stone cold sober,
Exactly.
folding up
Yeah.
napkins in the
Usually
wee hours.
happens
Yeah.
when you mix alcohol
Yeah.
with the team.
Yeah.
And then, add to that, so you remove the alcohol from that and you eliminate a lot of the bad behavior, the harassment type behavior. And then add to that some good training to let people know that we have a zero tolerance for harassment, and these are the forms of harassment. And then you eliminate, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have a safe, professional environment. Imagine that.
I was about to say, paradigm
Well,
shift again.
it's funny because what other industry do we just drink while we're working
Yeah.
besides ours? I don't even know. I'm
I
sure
don't
there's
either.
maybe rock star,
Yeah.
but that was the norm for 20 years of my career.
Right.
Uh, we drank on the job, we drank after the job, we drank uh, before we went into work. We certainly used drugs throughout the shift, and everyone knew it, and it was just normalized. So now we're normalizing the opposite of that.
That's it's amazing to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of that. It's not something that, and it's happening. It's not just us. It's happening throughout the industry, both through for necessity, and I think because if we want to attract professional people, and we want to be considered a serious industry to attract more talent,
Mm-hmm.
we have to do better and
Well,
be
it's not like
better.
it's bad for business to
Ex-
take these steps. This is all good, you know?
It's good for business.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
Yeah. Raleigh itself. So I'm born and raised in Raleigh. Raleigh was not known for being a restaurant town or city until pretty recently, and you have a lot to do with that. How do you feel about how we're doing, as far as compared to our other cities in the South and just nationwide? And by the way, Scott, I wanted to congratulate you on your James Beard nomination
Oh, thank
recently
you.
too.
Thank you.
When is that announced?
I forget when they announced the finalists, and then the winners will be announced this summer
Okay.
in Chicago. But this one hit differently. This I have to say, this nomination this year was for outstanding hospitality.